welcome to Storyfied.me Bangalore edition. I am Shikha and I am a part of the Bangalore community of Storyfied.me. Now Storyfied is a platform where we want to feature independent, empowering, inspiring women. So if you know anyone, you must leave us a message. First, go on like our Facebook page, stalk us on other social media platforms like Twitter, Instagram and Snapchat. Now as promised, today we have with us Madhavi and we're going to talk about sex. Yes, we're going to talk about sex, something that everyone is so uncomfortable talking about. But yes, two women on this show going to talk about sex. Welcoming Madhavi Chadha.
Yeah, hello, hi. So, yeah, first of all, Shikha, we are not talking about sex, okay? We are talking about sex education here. And it's about the platform that we have started here recently, and later on in the interview we'll talk about it.
Yes, so first let's get to know about Madhavi a little bit. So tell us, Madhavi, a little about you, a little about your background.
Yeah, about my background, I was born and brought up in Chhattisgarh. Then my father got retired and then we moved to Maharashtra. It was a cultural shock for me, because coming from a background where people are from all states and then moving to Maharashtra where you can see only Maharashtrians around, it was quite difficult to adjust. But then yeah, I adjusted well, I guess. And then I did my engineering. I did my petroleum engineering from MIT Pune. And then later on joined Reliance Industries. I went to offshore rigs, and yeah, so far working as a petroleum
engineer.
Is
such an interesting career for a woman to take up. Weird actually. But before we get into your experience as a petroleum engineer, tell us a little about little Madhavi. So your childhood and how was all of that?
Even childhood has been interesting, because I was born to my parents after 18 years of their marriage. Yeah, 18. That's exact the number. Quite surprising though. And yeah, my dad never remarried because my mother, like, she did not have a child. So 18 years is a long time. And then so I never saw my parents young, you know. When I was born, my father had white hair. He was 45 years old. It was something nobody could. Yeah, so something.
So your mom was 40?
My mom was 36 when I was born. Yeah.
Awesome.
And yeah, after 18 years of their marriage, and then so
you're the only child.
Yeah, I'm the only child. Yeah. And so all the responsibilities, like my father got retired when I was in class 8. So I had to take up a job as soon as I graduated, because I had all the responsibilities. And one of that responsibility was had to come because my father got sick. He was bedridden for 2 years. He had Parkinson's, and it was really a tough phase for me. I had no other support, as in to tell what to do, what not to do, because I was the head of the family and I had to take all the decisions, whether to keep him in ICU, whether what to do with him, have a caretaker full time for him, everything I had to decide. So yeah, it was really tough, but somehow I guess I got some strength, I got some support from my friends, from my family, and yeah, so 2 years, it was tough for me and my mom both.
As a woman, you have done the last rite of your father,
yes,
right? That's
yes.
what I heard.
Yeah, so I come from a very orthodox family. My relatives still live in a village, a small. We have a big family, but like big joint family at hometown, and we still live in a village. So it was quite different for someone like me who comes from a village or maybe a small town, you can say, to get to do the last rites of your father, because that is something not considered as like a woman's job. Quite difficult, yeah, I know, to convince them. People were like, we will run, we won't participate in the last rites of your father, we will abandon you, these things and that. But I was like, see, 2 years I have faced it all, 2 years I have done it all. So So now for the last rites, I'm not going to hand it over to someone else to do it. So I will be doing it myself.
That's interesting and like brave at the same time. But okay, let's get to a bit lighter topic, a bit different field that you have chosen as a career, petroleum engineering. So tell us why that, why petroleum engineering?
Yeah, so Shika, this is also an interesting story. Yeah, maybe I'm too interesting.
Very. That's why you're on our Facebook Live today, and it's only going to get interesting from here.
Yeah. So my parents didn't know anything about engineering, medical, nothing. So I had to decide what to do for my career. So the first thing that came to my mind was, okay, I have to do engineering, but then I have to get a job after 4 years. And when I saw the brochure of engineering, petroleum engineering had only 30 seats, and that guaranteed me a job after 4 years. So I was like, okay, this is the thing I have to take. That's why petroleum engineering. With no godfather.
How has it been so far? I'm sure there are like very few women.
Yeah, so very few. Yes, I can say on offshore rigs there were 110 men and I was the only female. So yeah, it is quite interesting journey. People say that you have been getting jobs and you have been getting promoted and all this just because you are a woman. But no, nothing like that. It doesn't happen. You have to be really good at it. Then only people appreciate you around. And yeah, but being a woman amongst 110 men, it's something special.
Is it so? What about you having to like being in a relationship and also you have like this choice, a buffet of men to choose from?
Yeah, so it's like water everywhere, but not a drop to drink.
See, so men out there, you have to like, I don't know, reach like some sort of a benchmark to be able to be in a relationship with Madhavi, is it?
Oh my god.
So what's on your checklist?
There is no checklist as such. Yeah, there is no checklist.
So, but then the 110 men, they all just, you're not even going to look at them.
Yeah, because that was a professional world, dude. I mean, you cannot look in that way to the men you are working with. It screws up everything.
Smart, maybe smart. Moving away from your professional world, so you have been doing something from June.
Yeah.
You have this Facebook page called That Made, and that's why we're here today to talk about sex education.
Exactly. Shikha, you have to use the words properly.
Because everybody thinks sex education is education about sex, but I think it's a lot more, and we have so much to talk about today, and it's just going to be this and Madhavi's newly started page on Facebook, That Made. You guys should check it out.
Do like it on Facebook. We are also on Twitter and also on WordPress. It's called thatmade.com. So yeah, we started something last month. The idea behind it is also very interesting. Shikha, you'd like to know, I'm sure.
The name That Made.
Yeah.
Very intriguing.
So the first thing is why the name That Made. So generally when we have doubts about sex education, yeah. So when I had those doubts, I used to go to a friend. So it was that friend. So yeah, that's why the name That Made. That Made who helps to resolve those questions.
Exactly. Yeah. So every one of us have like such a person, because there's Google and then there's this friend. But I'm sure
and then there is porn.
And then there is porn, yeah. But then everything is so like half-baked, I could say. Nothing's going to give you education as such. And that is why we're going to discuss the importance of education, of sex education, and is India ready for this? So Madhavi, first would be like, okay, it's been a month that you started this page.
It's been three and a half weeks, yeah.
Okay, so you got people to write about this topic.
Yeah.
Do you think people are just like sitting at the comfort of their homes and only talking about, oh, India needs a change, and oh, India needs to do this and needs to do that, but they're doing nothing about it?
So when I started this page, the first thing was I asked some of my close friends to invite their friends to like the page. One of my friends was like, okay, I will like the page, but I won't ask my friends to like it because it's sex education.
Okay.
And trust me, Shikha, she is as well educated as we are.
educated people need sex education.
Exactly. So the word sex itself is so controversial. So in India, I think that Indians are not devoid of sex, but yeah, talking about sex, it takes a toll. Yeah, it's very tough to talk about it. It is considered as taboo, and the journey of that meant started when I started writing about it. So my first blog that I wrote on a forum, it was Let's Talk About Sex Baby, where I just started writing how things were told to me. When I got my first period, I expected my parents to tell me about it, but I got no information. Then I went to the books. I went to my friends. They also had no information. The last thing was go to encyclopedia and read about it. And I did that because I was quite inquisitive about it from the beginning. Maybe I don't know why.
No, everybody should be, because it's going to be so bad if you're just going to keep googling everything and you're not going to get answers specific to it. Okay, so people say, if you're going to give kids, sex education at this age, they're going to be more inclined to having sex.
Yeah, but so that notion should go from India. Sex education is not telling you how to have sex. It is to tell them, to prepare them what it means. What is a good touch? What is a bad touch? What precautions you can take? Because in India, statistically, I don't remember the percentage and all, but many teenager girls are getting pregnant. I have read so many articles while the journey of that meant that it is really a bad scenario here, like getting pregnant, getting abortion when you are 13 and 14. They even don't know. So so my niece, she also got her periods like recently, and then she had the same question from her mother, and after 20 years the scenario hasn't changed. Nobody is telling her anything. So, and when she asked the question that why this happened, and everyone is like, you will come to know when you are old enough. What is the right time? When are you old enough to answer these questions? There should be a platform to answer it. That's why that meant.
True. I mean, when we say sex education is needed at a certain age, we need to first explain the bodily changes of a man and a woman, of a girl or a boy.
Yeah.
Like you said, periods, and for men it would be different.
Yeah.
And so if they're not aware of what's happening, then it's like they're going to just try to ask another friend who will again not be that knowledgeable. So getting wrong knowledge can also be harmful. In this discussion, we'd like our viewers also to comment their views, ask questions about sex education, or share your experiences, and we're going to take it over from there. But till then, Madhavi, you could tell us about sex education. Okay, people say that, hey, we have it in our school.
Yeah.
But do you think that a teacher standing there is still going to be awkward talking to the students about it? And I'm sure they're not doing it, because I myself remember in science class, the reproduction chapter was just skipped.
Yes.
And I'm sure it happens everywhere.
So even in my school, what happened? So we had in class 8th or 7th, we had this chapter on reproductive system. My teacher said plainly, okay, this has been omitted from your syllabus. You don't have to study. So here it is skipped everywhere. So even now, I just took a video, like I just went to a mall and asked random people that there were teenagers also, there were people who were younger to me, and I just went and asked how do you get sex education in India these days? There were answers like, we don't know anything about it. There were people who were not able to answer what is a condom or what is a sanitary napkin. Yeah, and we are talking about a place like Bangalore. It's not a small town from where I come from, or from a very small place.
We were told, I mean, our teacher just comes in on that morning and says that, I'm sure you guys know everything about sex. You all are very intelligent. So I'm not going to, go through an embarrassing class over here and teach you guys about reproduction. But honestly, I was clueless at that age.
Yes,
and when I expected that we were going to be learning about the organs or whatever was there in the syllabus at that time.
What happens in India is parents think that this will be taught in the school, and the teachers think that it's the parents' duty. So each one is shrugging their shoulders off. That's all is happening.
True.
That's why it's always becoming a taboo, and people are not knowing it. They are not able to talk about it. And hence I thought of providing a platform where people can talk about it openly, and there should be a place where parents can tell, okay, go to that mate and read about this stuff. go to that, read about this particular article. Something like this we have to promote.
Yeah, if you're not okay talking about it, well, this platform is purely for education purposes. And this someone was telling us that growing up in the UK, they were given sex education in school at the age of 12.
See, yeah.
And in India, even in colleges, no one is ready to talk about it. And they're scared that, if sex education is even introduced into schools, then parents will have to face awkward situations at home answering questions.
Exactly. So recently we wrote an article on that which mentioned that there are some activists who don't want sex education to be a part of curriculum because they think that encourages people to have sex. Come on, students are curious about it, but that doesn't mean that telling them about sex will make them to have sex.
Sex education will also help children to steer clear from molestation, from rape, from all these things. Because if they're not aware of what is, like you said, a good touch and a bad touch, which sex education will provide. It's not just about how you're going to have sex, but it's about the different, say, lesbians or gay or all these kind of topics are also picked up in sex education. So it's not confined to just having sex.
Talking about lesbian and gay, I just remember one of my friends' joke. So we have a friend who just came out to his parents about being gay. So his mother asks him, there is some therapy, we can go to a doctor and get it sorted out.
Yeah, they think it's a condition or a disease that can be treated. This is why we need sex education.
So that's why the platform was very essential, I think. That's why we came up with that way.
Even today, like if I have a younger sister and I have told her about periods and I have explained a lot of things related to sex, and I really think it's not awkward when you're talking. I mean, if they don't talk to you, then where else are they going to talk to? I mean, who else are they going to go ask? Teachers are not comfortable talking about it. If your mom or your dad is not comfortable talking about it, how has it been for you? So, your childhood, has someone addressed this to you? Ever?
No, ever, never. So I told you, so when I got my first period, I went to my mom and she explained me, okay, this will happen to you every year, every month. I was like, okay. And then when my dad asked her to explain it to me, she's like, these kids are smart these days, they have this covered in their syllabus.
Yeah, people think Google is there.
And there itself the conversation was stopped. And I was like, what the hell is happening? I want to know more about this. I want to know how kids are born. Once my niece was born, when I was a little kid, I mean 8 or 9 years, and I asked how is the kid born? I got an answer that the God put the baby in your sister-in-law's tummy. So these were the answers given, and I'm sure right now also these are the answers given by the parents, which is not the right thing to tell about. Parents should come up. They should they should guide them properly. Yeah, maybe if they are not open, then they should look upon forums like that, maybe.
Yeah.
For help.
There are a lot of sites that help. There is Google, but there is nothing like sitting down a child and explaining what exactly is the bodily changes happening or what exactly, and it's okay. Okay, Indians think that it's not legal yet over here to be a gay or a lesbian or whatever. But that is wrong, and we want your opinion as well as to what you think about these things, because it's not something that you can decide upon. That if I am going to be attracted to a woman, it cannot be cured by anybody, and that has to be told to me by my mother at a very young age that it's okay for me to like anybody. So tell us about a little more about your page, and also tell us about people writing for you. I mean, how are they contributing to this article? Are they open enough?
Yeah, so right now we have a team of 6, and these all are voluntary contributors. One is a doctor, she's a psychiatrist, and others are students. So we are and like mostly from petroleum background, and they are helping to edit my content. And there are doctors who are contributing to it, and they are quite open about it. And the main thing about that is it has been appreciated by one and all. People are accepting it, people are liking it, people are happy to talk about it. And the even on it. So yeah, so more and more it is getting recognized and appreciated everywhere. However, yes, we have to still reach the masses, because the people which we are reaching are from, are from mostly from cities and from my friend group, or who already know about it. But my challenge would be basically going to villages, small towns and cities, like 2-tier cities or 3-tier cities, where they don't talk about sex education, where it is considered as taboo, where having menstruation, girls are not allowed to enter into a temple. So these things have to go. These having periods is not something, a stigma or something.
Yeah, it's a natural thing. So you cannot sit in a puja.
Yeah, it's a natural process, and it makes a girl's body, like it shows a girl's body that okay, you are ready to bear a child. Yeah.
And not many don't know what menopause is, and many don't know why do we have periods.
Exactly.
Even the women won't know.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we have it once a month, but why are you getting them? You don't know that.
And talking about it also is a taboo. I mean, people don't talk about it. Yeah. So something that we are also trying to do it on that way.
So someone's asking us about what are the basics and what needs to be taught in schools. Suppose if they want to actually pursue this. And is ThatMate a website? Yes, ThatMate is a website. It's a Facebook page as well.
Yeah, so thatmate.com is the website right now, and what needs to be taught is something about masturbation, something about puberty, something about good touch and bad touch, something about what are the reproductive organs, everything that needs to be told to someone who is receptive, or who is eligible to have sex or can have sex. Something that gives information as well as tells what not to do, what to do.
At what age group should they start education?
They should start from teenage, because that's when kids start, like the puberty comes, and kids get to know all these things. Because I read an article where it was written, a girl of 10 years old, she was told about reproductive organs and how a baby is born. Not in detail, so she just went to her father and asked, Dad, if I touch a boy, will I get pregnant? So these are very small things, but these things should be explained. I saw a Hindi movie, and coming back I asked my mom, okay, so it was the kiss that happened after that the baby was born, isn't it?
Oh, I've heard weird stories like hankies touching and baby being born.
And one of my friend, she will hate me for mentioning this. So she used to think that it's the in Hindu weddings there is this aag and what you call
a bonfire sort of.
Yeah, bonfire when Saat Feras happen. So she used to think that there is some magic inside that bonfire.
Oh my god, okay.
That makes kids to be born. Yeah. So and in Christians there is something else, because they don't have that bonfire. So these funny stories have happened, and she comes from a very educated family, but still her questions were never answered.
True.
Some more questions coming in, Shikha?
Yeah, so one viewer was saying about that, she was a very curious student, and when she went to her school, so this was in abroad, not in India of course, and she was taught, like I said, sex education was given at a very young age. So when she came up to like being 16 years old, her mom was like, okay, let's sit down and talk about this, and she's like, I'm already aware about this. So Indian parents think that, okay, they're not going to admit it that they are not teaching their children enough about this, but when they go out and when they Google these kind of things and when they watch porn, everything is like, and when they're caught watching porn especially, parents have so much of a problem with all of that. Okay, you're not going to educate me, nor are you going to let me take education to like any other way. So watching porn is a taboo, talking about porn is a taboo.
Yeah, but then there is nothing else to do. I mean, nothing else, there is no other source of information to get it. That's why they go to porn, which is of course not a good medium to get educated on sex.
So someone's asking, fathers or mothers, who should initiate this talk, and does it depend on if it's a son or a daughter?
Not really. It depends on how open you are to your kid. Yeah, so I was more open to my father, but my mother introduced me to periods. So in general, in families, it is always the mother who talks about it and not the fathers. But I think they both should do it. It's not. It depends on who takes the responsibility and how open they are to their kids.
But as a daughter, don't you think you'd be more comfortable with your mother than talking about this to your father? Because
yeah, not really, because I think I was more open to both of them being the only child, so it never had that difference. I never had that difference. Like, yeah, they both were my like really good friends.
what about okay? What is that mate planning to change in the education system? Are you going to go from organization or school to school or NGO? Because it's a misconception that only the rural side needs education.
Yeah.
The urban educated also are not so-called educated when it comes to sex. So what is that mate planning to do about this?
So right now, that mate is a newborn child actually. Yeah. So we have just started and we plan to go to different schools. We plan to have proper syllabus. Maybe a 2-day workshop, a 3-day workshop. Go to schools, ask them to do those workshops, and creating a platform where parents can tell their kids, okay, if you have any doubt and I'm not able to answer it or I am very embarrassed to answer, you can just go and read it there. So this is something that we would like to create for the kids, and also later on maybe a platform where people can ask questions and some expert will reply to it. Something like that we are
You're getting expert on board
Yeah.
for all of this?
Yeah. So right now also we have an expert. I have a friend who is a psychiatrist who is on board, and she also contributes to us. However, later on we plan to have some more experts on board as well.
Okay, so what would be like what's the final vision? Where do you want to take that? As in, is it just going to be writing and
No,
a
it's
website?
not gonna be just writing. It would be it would be a like Quora kind of platform, or maybe a platform where a Quora kind of platform where people can ask questions and someone can answer it. Someone as in an expert can answer. We are planning to tie up with some NGOs as well to take it ahead. Yeah. So yes, and plus coming up with some good cartoons, some comic books for the kids to educate. Yeah.
Okay. So we want to know what you think about sex education, and we want you to ask Madhavi about sex education. Anything that, okay, you think that schools don't need it, so how do you plan to go about this at home? You could ask her and she will help you with it. Till then, we want to know more about petroleum engineering.
Oh my God.
Because that's the fun part of Madhavi, like, oh my God. So
Petroleum engineering, yeah. So yeah, after sex education, petroleum engineering. Oh my God, Shikha, you are making mistakes from this side to the other.
because let's talk about sex a little later.
Yeah.
Again. Then we do like petroleum engineering, because I know people working in that field, and I know about like it's male dominant. There must be some reason. See, engineering, there are like so many streams to engineering. You could have done anything that more female crowd and stuff.
Female-ish.
Yeah, female-ish.
Maybe I was a tomboy from the
Yeah,
beginning.
like
That's why
jahan
I never-
jaungi jhandi gaana hai.
Oh my God, Jhande and all. No, not really. But I wanted to do something different from computers and electronics, not the usual stuff, because I never liked coding. Trust me. I mean, sitting in front of computer, I would be like, oh my God, no, I'm never gonna do this. So something that will be challenging, something that will be different. That's why petroleum.
So that bit is just going to be like a part-time blogging thing while you continue your mains, right?
I don't know yet, because it has just started. I don't know how it will go. If it is like really doing good, then why not that way?
Ask Digital is asking if the website is already up. Yes, the website
The
is up.
website is currently hosted with WordPress. So we don't have like really
Like
www dot something like that. But yeah, we have hosted it on WordPress. It's that.
It's a blog as of now.
Yeah, as of now, it's just thatmade.com.
Yeah. Canada Drilling Limited is asking, what was your experience in the oil and gas industry being the woman alone?
Oh yeah, it was quite fun. On offshore rigs, it's nothing like you are a woman or a man. It's a space where everyone is working for the safety, for the environment, and to get more out of the well. I mean, if you understand what I mean.
So we have questions. Okay, Indian marketing campaigns is like, what is the age when the child should be taught? Because see, I'll tell you why. Because a male, there's going to be a difference, right? So what if your baby girl comes tomorrow? Okay, she's like just 4 years old or 5 years old, and she's like, why do I look different? And maybe why does that guy next door look different? So you don't know. I mean, can anyone actually tell which age you can start telling something that they grasp, something that they understand?
So something okay, this is something that I cannot answer because I am not a mother myself, and yeah, so maybe when they start asking, I cannot answer
We
that.
would be telling them at that age, would be like,
Yeah,
again,
I have to imagine, okay, if I am a mother first, like
5-year-old child.
too difficult for me to answer Shikha right now.
So, sibling, for example,
Yeah.
and I have a younger sister. So, as a sibling, what should my role be? Now, okay, my parents are not going to be comfortable talking about sex education. But, for example, now I know that how important sex education is because I belong to this generation, and I'm like, hey, I'm going to talk to my children about it. But I have a younger sister, so I can experiment, I can start with that. So, as a sibling, what role would I play?
So it depends on how open you are to your sister. I mean, if she's really your friend, I mean, she friend in need, she comes to you and tells all about her boyfriends, about what happened in the class and everything. So it depends on the openness you have with her. And if she's that open, I mean, why not you? You can just start off the conversation like, see, these are the things. Do you know about these things? Have you heard about these things? Something like that.
She's doing her 12th right now, and when she was in 8th or 9th, even her reproduction chapter was skipped. And when she came and asked me, I was clueless. I was actually like, why did the teacher not take that important chapter? And so they're going to get all intrigued and they're going to start googling these things. And do you really think that Google as a platform is enough to educate? I mean, if you're not going to be a one-to-one
Google
person.
knows many things, but Google doesn't know everything. This is what I think.
True.
So we should not believe on Google for everything, and we should keep our eyes open while taking information from the internet, especially when it is related to kids, because kids read it and they may implement it. So I was reading an article that said that people didn't know, like teenagers didn't know what is a contraceptive pill and what is the difference between an eye pill and a contraceptive pill, and they used to take the contraceptive like eye pill every time they had sex. So which is not good. They didn't know how to use a condom. So this is where India is lagging behind. I always tell that India is not deployed of India just doesn't talk about sex. They have sex all the time. 1.25 billion is the proof.
Yeah, curiosity. Suppose, okay, if I'm going to read about sex online and like, I'm going to be curious, and what out of curiosity they're going to go ahead and try it, because they're not going to they don't have that rapport with their parents to ask, what would happen if I do this. Trying is worse. They're going to.
I told you, right? Touching someone asked, okay, if I touch that boy, will I get pregnant? Come on.
So Konark is asking you, what has been your experience working in an operator as compared to service company?
Oh my
keeping
God.
the women engineering perspective in mind.
I don't know why people think that women are treated differently in a petroleum industry. It's always the same thing, and there is no such difference that I have been like a woman in a civil service company or a woman in an operator. They respect our views. If you are right, they respect your views. If you blabber, they know you are blabbering, and you are just trying to make up a story. So it all boils down that how much you know, and irrespective of the gender you are.
True. So Akansha says that she was the only child and her only experience of sex education was taught at school. And the best part is that they taught them to carry condoms around, and female condoms. How much does India know that there's female condoms as well?
I don't think so. Everyone knows it. I really don't think so.
So,
and statistics, I'm really bad at it, so I cannot give you a ratio or a number. And I think this is not a show where I can tell you like.
so she's also
Let's not get boring.
She's also telling that you should adopt things from the US and the UK.
Yes, there are many good forums over there. We are trying to get connected to them and talking to people over there, like how do they teach their kids about it and how what are like trying to get some inputs from them. Yes, this is what we are doing.
So we are very fast at adapting the Western culture when it comes to drinking, when it comes to drugs, when it comes to wearing their kind of clothes and everything. But only when it comes to sex education, India has a problem. I know the posts I read recently about this politician wanting to ban sex education here and things like that. People are still trying these guest lectures. They come in and lecture about sex education, but I don't know. I've never sat in one. Do you have an experience about? Are they actually teaching what is required, or again just diplomatically taking a class and walking on?
I read everything on encyclopedia, dude. I never had someone telling me what it is about. So yeah, nothing as in someone has come to me and told me, okay, these are the things happening, this is how you should do. No, never happened to me. So I don't know how diplomatic they are and how do they take the lectures. So if that man does it, no, don't worry. It will be all the questions will be answered and authentic. Yes.
So what all are the subjects that mate has covered as of now?
So as of now we have been covering about menstruation and sex education, but then we will be going to puberty and then maybe something about gay and lesbians as well. We'll try to inculcate topics as we age, like for kids, then for adults, for adolescents, then for adults. So yeah, according to the age, we'll have the articles.
Okay. And if sex education is taken up in school, then what would the chapters contain? Something more insight into that.
Yeah. So I really have something like I don't have a clear picture right now, but what I think is we'll start with what happens at puberty, how kids are born, then what are the reproductive organs, and some
good touch, bad touch is very important.
It will be at very early stage, good touch, bad touch, like in class 3rd and 4th, like at very early stage. But these would be like at class like when kids are around 12-13 years old, especially teenagers.
Akansha is telling us that India is the land of Kama Sutra, but they also gave the book to the world.
Yes.
And then it's
but
so sad that they're shy away.
Yeah.
So what do you have to say about this hypocrisy that we have?
Hypocrisy, yes. That's what I told you, Akansha, isn't it? Like 1.25 billion at one hand, and we don't talk about sex. So that shows the hypocrisy right there. Exactly.
Yeah.
And the one main reason for growing population is also because they are not educated properly. They don't know about contraception. They don't know that how many years of gap should be there amongst kids. So these are the things that needs to be told to them.
So like you said, TACMate is planning to do a lot of things on this forum. I mean, as a forum, it's going to travel, it's going to educate people. So Konark is asking you that how are you going to tackle the fundamentalists like RSS, MNS who do not want to talk about this and do not want people to know anything about this? How are you going to, on a bigger level, you will be, facing issues
I would be facing those issues. I think if RSS and Shiv Sena would would take a case against me, I would get more publicity. But Nami may be Naam hai. I think I'll take it that way. Any publicity is a good publicity.
True. So far when you've put out this blog and things like that, so how are you approaching people to write on your website?
Currently, I'm only approaching my friends because I know they are really good writers, and I'm like pestering them all the way, day and night. Please write an article for me. Please write an article for me. But I think after this interview, I guess there will be many I can reach out to, and they'll contact me on their own. People who are listening, like Akanksha and Konak, they should write to me as well. I'm waiting for their article.
So how do you plan to give out the topics? Are you just telling whatever you know about that topic, go ahead and write about it, or you're restricting it?
As you said that, as I told you already, that we are going to plan the articles, like it depends on like from kids to adult to adolescents to adults, so it would be like age wise, and then the topics would be according to the age. Like I cannot have gender dysphoria right now telling about like for teenagers. It would be for someone who is an adult who doesn't know, like, okay, what I really have you seen the movie, the recent movie by, okay, anyway, so where he is confused that he likes to be a woman but he is strapped into a man's body, so something like that. So these topics would be there, but then it depends, like it will be later on stage, because that would cater to audience for adults, not teenagers right now.
And what about, I mean, don't you think that we need to even start talking about being gay is okay, or being a lesbian is okay?
Yeah.
And that, I mean, parents are like, you know, as long as it's not our child, then we don't care. But what is the problem, you know, if you are a gay or a lesbian? Why is India not ready to accept that?
Again, it depends. It is because of the culture here. People don't talk about it. People are scared to talk about it, and yeah, I mean, too many cultural foundations we have. Though there is no harm. I mean, if I like a girl, or if being a man, if I like a man, what's the harm? It's something that
society will not accept.
Yeah, it's so here people think more about society than the parents, about themselves.
So Akanksha is telling us, have you thought about approaching the likes of Girlyappa who have topics like marital rape, periods, and they're out in form of videos? So collab with.
Yeah, Akanksha, please help us out to get into touch with them. I guess I would say that you have interviewed them earlier and you know them better, so it would be really helpful if you can help us get in touch with them.
So
how about that?
So knowing that, you know, sex education is still, for like a really long time, it's not going to be accepted, and many people out there are trying to push this topic into our society, into our culture. Knowing all of that, you have started a page, right? So just to get this started, were there any hitches that you faced? And were you ever like thinking like, should I even go about it because it's useless and people are not going to respond to it in a positive way?
Till now, I guess I have done things and then thought about what would be the consequences. even petroleum engineering happened just because I thought I should take something different. So yeah, here also I thought let's give it a try. Let's see what happens, because I wrote a blog and it was well appreciated. So I was like, let's give it this also a try. If I jump into the water and then learn to swim.
That's good. being spontaneous, being impulsive is the best thing to do, because the more we think, the more we are not going to do it.
Yeah, that's more of to do with my personality type, which is ESTP. Like it says that they are the doers. Just they'll do things and then think about the consequences. Yeah.
So as you're going to be a mom in the future or not, it's up to you. But suppose your child turns out to be lesbian or gay, how are you going to tackle that in the Indian society?
Maybe I settle in US.
Everyone's going to think like that. No,
maybe I guess by that time things will change. You know, I mean, people will start accepting the way it is.
You think that's going to happen? You think?
I'm an optimist.
Yeah, okay. But sex education.
Till the time there is a CEO who comes like Tim Cook, who comes out and tells that okay, I'm a lesbian. I don't think so. India will accept it.
But I did read some articles about, you know, Indian only getting the gay marriage and all happening against everybody's wishes and things. They're just boycotted from the society and everything. So what, few years down the line, you think things are going to like drastically change, that sex education and this will...
Well, it depends on us, isn't it? So Gandhiji has said that be the change you want to be.
Gandhiji has said, imagine, nothing is happening.
So if we only will resist it, if we only will say yes, we are open to it, if we respect our friends who are gays or lesbians, so why not the society will start accepting them?
True. And how
we have to start it.
How important it's really important when you talk about good touch and bad touch and about rape, marital rape in India. It's not
even
criminalized.
considered.
It's not even a bad thing. They're like, शादी करके किया ना उसने, it's fine. So is your forum going to take up those aspects as well?
Yeah, why not? That's a very important issue that has to be addressed, and people, and especially women, should know about it, because being unaware of the fact that you are being raped by your own husband is something that is like, I mean, I went to a stand-up comedy show, and there it was like, Indian men just don't know what a consent means.
Correct.
So this is where we have to ask people about.
Ashik says he's a frequent follower of your blog and he's saying keep up the good work.
Oh, thank you, Ashik.
Ananya says that about touch, I have fought my 2.5-year-old since she was nearly 3 and started to communicate the bad touch areas and what she needs to do. Plus, who is allowed to touch her? That's only mom and dad. But again, my question here would be that, dad, have you not seen cases as to where the girl's father also turns out to be?
So rather than telling that, okay, only about the touch that is not known to them, if you can tell them which areas are dangerous and which zones are dangerous. So that mate has shared a very good video that was like the initial of its videos that talks about good touch and bad touch. It's a very helpful video that will help you to tell kids what is a good touch and what is a bad touch. So it's not about people, it's about the areas where they can, like, which are good or bad.
Konak says don't settle in Texas or Oklahoma. And even the US is not right there when it comes to gay and lesbian.
Yeah.
They're still lagging behind. I mean, we are another level of lagging behind. So about that, mate, we continue to talk about that, mate. Unless you have questions, we're going to keep answering them every now and then. But that, mate, we need to know about as a person who is using your blog. Okay, so do you have a forum for discussion? Suppose if
right now, no, but we are planning to have it. Like there would be a discussion forum where people can ask questions, and then there will be an expert who will be answering it.
Okay, because once people read an article, I'm sure they'll have a lot of questions regarding that.
Yes.
Yes. So Ananya says that we have explained her that too. Here in UK, many nurseries teach this. So when we were talking about a good touch and bad touch,
Yeah.
so she was talking
That's a
about
great initiative, Ananya.
So yeah, so let's continue the topic of sex education.
Yes.
And you have had younger cousins.
Yeah. No, I'm the youngest in the family. I have my niece who was born like 18 years. Yeah.
But in your line of your generation, you're the youngest.
Yeah.
So who has been your dad-mate?
I never had that mate, you know, unfortunately.
Okay.
So it was like I have a cousin who is like 4 years elder to me. I used to ask her questions and she was as clueless as I was. So yeah. So I did not have that weight.
And even now, I mean, you have your own forum, yes, but
I have that weight. I have my best friend who does it for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there should be like an app for this.
Exactly.
That mate app where you like, it's, you know,
Dropping on the questions and there will be something
it's better to
replied.
communicate to strangers, I feel sometimes. Though yeah, you would have friends, but sometimes you get awkward because they might just judge you based on the questions.
Yeah, that's why the name that mate, you know.
So okay, growing up, yeah, you didn't have anybody. But do you think that now when like you become a mother, you are going to be able to tackle these issues differently, as in like because you wish that you had somebody to explain all this to you?
I guess I'm friendly enough with people, so I think I will be able to.
You sure you will not face any awkwardness at any point of time, like when you're talking?
So right now I can tell you my experience. I was explaining, so yeah, my niece had her periods, so I explained her everything, like why the periods happen.
Her mom didn't do that?
No, her mom didn't. So I was the one, and I knew that she won't do it. So I was the one, okay, let's explain it to her. So from good touch to bad touch to why do you get periods and how actually things happen. So everything I explained it to her, and she was quite impressed. She is someone who likes science, and the way I explained it, she really liked it. So I was like, kudos to me.
Share some stories with us about your journey that has been so far, about you starting off with that mate, and how do you juggle your time between your engineer? That must be hectic, I'm sure.
Yeah, so office hours are for office, and then when I come back, I have some time. I go for my tennis, and then when I come back, I start talking to my team. Yeah, the doctor is very busy, and my other two teammates, they are in US, so they get online like later at night, and yeah, and two of my teammates, they keep on traveling. They are like collaborators and media people. So yeah.
How do you plan to approach these specialists who are they going to write for you, or they're just going to do guest lectures?
Right now, they would write for me, and I don't think I'll have someone for guest lectures and all, because we will be teaching our team to equip with all these questions and to answer them. Yeah, rather than.
For that, they would need education first.
Yes.
So how are you planning to go about that?
We have a psychiatrist, right, on board in the team, so she would be doing the.
Mo says hello from London.
Hi.
Hello, Mo. Okay, so we don't have any questions as of now, but we want to know more about your website.
Yeah, so about my website, yeah, I would like people to comment on the blog. There are like around 7-8 blogs right now. There would be a video coming up next on Sunday, and we would like people to like it, share it, comment, let us know your views, if it is good or bad, anything will do. And yeah, don't look at me like that.
Your criticism is always
criticism always helps us to grow. And yeah, so let us know your views. That is the most important thing. And yes, for this is right now for parents. I mean, I just posted a blog that will talk about how parents should teach their kids. Like they should maintain eye-to-eye contact by telling them. They should like tell them doing small stuff like household chores or something. Not make it a specific or detailed topic. Small talks is fine. And they should start telling them whenever they feel that they need to be educated, or when they feel that they are asking too many questions about that. Because asking about like things like sanitary napkins, they come out at our house like at a very early stage. And kids start asking about it. What is it? They think that it's really a napkin, where they should be told why it is used. So right from the beginning, they should be told.
So there's Indian marketing campaigns asking you, how should we use the website effectively? First, tell us a little about your target audience. Are you targeting the parents who should?
Right now on the site, yes, we are targeting the parents, and then when we start going to the schools, telling them about that mate, that the audience would be kids as well as the parents. And then after that, there would be an app or maybe a site where you can like write questions and get it more interactive, make it more interactive.
Like a question. So you
Yes.
would like email the answers or something?
Yeah, email or maybe like chat window.
So how can this website be used effectively? And in a person?
Let it come online first, and then we can have one more chat where Shikha can come here and we can go online.
Syawal says, I love you. I'm guessing that I love you is for you.
Oh, we love you too.
Eligible petroleum
We love you
engineer
too.
So Akansha says, India is not yet ready, not everywhere, till the hypocritical Sanskar brigade stops it to reach to the young audience that needs sex education. need to teach them sex as they are going to learn it anyway. So, but to protect themselves from repercussions of having sex without understanding its responsibilities.
So yeah, sex should not make like it should not be a Hawa word, right? It should be something very casual word. Not you should not use it. Oh my God, you should not make a Hawa around it. That's what I feel. We are born out of it, dude.
Yeah, but parents. Yeah, when we're born out of it, why can't parents answer how we've come by? The bird left it on the terrace and went.
And then there are boobies and then birds and then God. Oh my God, really?
So Kushal says, hi, first of all, congratulations for this amazing and much needed effort of yours.
Thank you so much.
Take a pat on your own back.
Thank you.
So number one, he says, considering different topics for different age groups, how do you plan to restrict younger kids from accessing the topics which are not for them?
Okay, that's a very good question, and I really haven't thought about it, but this is something that we can take to the team, because we have a psychiatrist, so she can help us guide that how we can restrict people, or maybe it would be more of a parental control rather than we doing it ourselves.
That
maybe we
YouTube
can have,
and Google was expecting that parents will control, but internet, everything is
out, and when we will have a chat window or something, there would be like a certain particular age group only can enter in or something like that. But really, thank you. I'll try to find the answer for it.
Could be considered.
Could be considered. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Also, is this Facebook page and your blog the only medium you're going to use to express yourself?
Sorry, I did not get
this Facebook page you have of that page, and now you have a blog.
Yeah.
So, are these the only mediums you're going to use?
Right now, yes. And we are on Twitter as well. We are on Instagram. Yeah. Right now, these forums only. And maybe we'll go on Medium as well.
Twitter and Instagram, how are you using that for your work? How are you using that to communicate?
So whenever we blog something, we just go online and tell people about it that we are doing it.
Okay, so do you have events? Are you going to be holding events also?
Events, but that would be mostly in schools, not event, like I don't know what kind of events you're asking, but
I think you're going to go talk on stage, involve the audience and tell about.
Our main audience would be school kids, so we'll be going to schools and having the events.
But don't you think the parents should be targeted first? You must, talk to them about, hey, talk to your kid, it's okay.
Yeah, so maybe that could be also, yeah.
You could have different target audience.
As I said, it's a baby, and all your ideas are really welcome, and they are really good.
Yeah, please give ideas on how she can.
Some more ideas are also welcome, yes.
Akansha says the website could be age restricted through the backend. That's an amazing suggestion.
Yeah, thank you Akansha for that suggestion.
Yeah, when they're putting their date of birth and things like that. Because Facebook also does not take the younger crowd in. Yeah, so more about that page. We need to know about, okay, firstly this website was just started as she said, and this blog. So we always want you guys to give in an input about this, because Akansha, Madhavi has just started this. So it would be great that if you keep giving your inputs about how she can make it big on this, very passionate and interested about taking sex education all around India. So your inputs should keep coming.
And read the blogs, share your views, let us know how they are, give us some ideas like she has given us, like talk to the parents as well, have an event and talk to them upfront rather than having only kids. So ideas like this are welcome. Please.
Manisha is saying that need not be an age restriction. Young children need to know it as well. So here's a debatable topic for you.
Young children of what age? If we are like those who have access to net, like if I say, Manisha, how young you say young are? I mean, what is your definition of young?
Chrissy says hi. Hi Chrissy.
Hi.
So young, in the sense, even today if you see these kids, they know how to go to YouTube and open their nursery rhyme and watch their cartoons online. So don't you think that they would be curious, kahin movie mein chota kuch scene dekh liya ya kuch kar liya. So out of curiosity, don't you think that they will when they're not ready for that kind of information? misinformation, they're still going to like go ahead and have access to it?
Yeah, so maybe we can have like member login or some particular login, or maybe have a quiz at the beginning of the page, and if you know these questions, then only you can access our site.
That's
Something like that we can plan off, and which will restrict the number of viewers, and which will have only viewers who are like of right age.
Okay, so that could be a safety net.
Yes.
Before you log in. That's nice. So Chrissy is asking you. Sorry, Chissy. Okay. Sorry, Mr. Das. Hi. Firstly, hi.
Hi.
And what is the right age to talk to daughters about the cycle? At the moment, she's 8 years old.
At the moment, she's 8 years old. You can start telling her. I mean,
they see advertisements everywhere.
yeah, they ask about sanitary napkins and also something. It's not that you have to go for a lengthy talk. You should talk about, like, you can read the recent blog where it talks about, you should talk about like small, there should not be lengthy conversation, but small talks about these topics where you can talk about what is menstruation, what is puberty, what is how kids are born. So these topics can be you can start talking, but yeah, don't have lengthy conversations, and make sure that the questions they ask, they like, you don't just ask them, okay, that's a stupid question. Just take that question, maybe you can come back to them later, but don't discourage them for any question. And just don't give this answer that you'll come to know when you
are at that age. Yeah, that's a thing I have been through too. That's terrible.
Yeah.
The condom advertisements that come on television or in the newspapers or anything, our parents are so against that, and people also think like, you're showing condom ad, that you're promoting sex. Okay, and then these sanitary napkin ads, why do they show the blue liquid?
Exactly.
I don't understand that. I mean,
such a fake thing they show.
There's a limit. Okay, if you're trying to use advertisement as a medium to promote something that is good, that is educational, the misguiding by showing it blue, blue in color.
So my niece asked me this. I mean, why do they show this blue? Am I colorblind? So any more questions coming in, Shikha?
As of now, no. But I am very worried about the right age. I'm still confused about the right age to talk about anything, be it schools. Okay, if schools are going to have guest lectures coming in, so which standard? So because
maybe you can ask this question in our forum, and I'll ask my psychiatrist to answer it rather than me answering it properly. I guess she's the right person to answer.
Yeah, true. Manisha is encouraging Chissy. Girls can start periods as early as 8, so she needs to know it before it happens.
Yeah,
true. I mean, my example, I didn't even know until it happened. I was like, oh my god, what's happening?
If she starts opening up to you, why not to tell her?
It's not an awkward conversation.
Yeah,
it's not. I mean, until the parents make it awkward, it's not going to be awkward for the child. And it's always better for one of the parents at least to build a healthy rapport with the child.
And plus, don't answer that okay, this is something, a natural process, and you'll get it every month, and just don't be scared. This is not an answer. The answer would be why it happens, what is the reason behind it, and yeah, it's a natural process. Yes, that has to be explained.
Yeah, and Akansha is saying recently there was a campaign which said #we don't bleed blue. Exactly. We should have more of these things.
Yes, this was from some online forum that initiated that. Yes.
Also, as women need to be aware about menstruation and about menopause and these kind of things. But don't you think the men also need to be aware about it?
Exactly. So men, when I was talking to my nephew who is doing his masters, I told him that, see, you know what, I'm starting this school blog and this and that, and he's like, I asked him the first question, so how did you know about it? So he's like, I did not know till I was in engineering.
Okay.
Girls know more about this than men, and like really, and he doesn't even have like a sister or something. He's also an only child. So he
Okay.
did not have that mate. I was like, I could have been your that mate. You should have come to me.
Yeah, but I think educating men about it is equally important.
Yes,
Because
yes.
they need to know why menopause happens and why menstruation happens. And okay, this kind of a very common this thing about menstruation, having sex is okay, and you're not going to get pregnant, so it's having safe sex and these things. So this is misguided information, or Google. You're using Google
Exactly,
for this kind of things.
exactly.
So it's always better and they're so like.
That's why that mate is there. Yeah, I cannot stop pitching it. I'm
No, we are here to talk about that. And don't you think the women today, they're not comfortable going to a gynac or going to their doctor and talking about we've had sex and maybe this is to know about their fertility or anything. Everything they want to Google symptoms and tell me the results.
Google, I told you, Google knows everything, but we should not depend on it for everything.
Yes, because Google the forums are written by people like you and me who also have half-baked knowledge.
And half-baked knowledge, at least regarding
Can
sex.
put you in trouble.
Yeah, can put you in trouble. Anytime.
Yeah. So more about your side. We want to know more about that, right?
More about that mate will be coming soon, I guess. Yes, we have started working on it. We plan to make it bigger, and I think we need your support for that. We need questions from you. We need suggestions from you. We need we need support to promote it. Yes, all these kind of stuff.
Also, this India, if you see these newspapers, they have this column Sexpert.
Yeah, I know, and they
And
talk
embarrassing
rubbish.
questions.
They talk rubbish about it. There are so many magazines also talking about it, and I guess they talk rubbish.
Have you read the level of questions that they ask? It's
Too embarrassing to read,
So I just remember one off the top of my mind is like, my wife and I were playing poker and the chip went into her vagina. Will she become pregnant? How? Don't you? That is like, wow, seriously, that's.
But the guy playing poker doesn't know. Oh my god.
So what causes pregnancy? How to become pregnant? People are still clueless about it but are embarrassed to ask.
Yes, and people don't know about contraception. People are really basics of contraceptions are not known. Like, I'm sure many won't know what is a female condom.
Yeah, actually, can I accept it? I do not know.
Yeah,
I
so
accept this.
There are women who don't know about menstruation cups these days. There are women who don't know about taboos. So these are the things that people have to talk about. And if you don't talk about, there is no one to tell you.
Who will if we don't start? Yeah. And just by sitting there and complaining like, hey, we're so ignorant and we know nothing is not going to help. Yeah. Maybe do something like Madhavi did, take one step at a time. Akasha says, she's asking you, how much do we talk about masturbation? It's a healthy activity? Question mark. And I have heard about men suffering from porn-induced erectile dysfunction due to excess masturbation.
Yes, it happens. Yeah. People, it's a healthy activity. It is for your pleasure, I guess.
No, but doing too much of it?
You're doing too much of it is anything harmful. Well, yes, we will be covering that, of course, but when we will talk about adults and all, not right now.
Yeah. So abroad is of course हमसे ज़्यादा आगे है इन सब चीज़ों में, the US and the UK. Are you planning to collab with them and go international? Because only as we're taking so much inspiration for them in all the things that are so not needed. So are you going to
Yeah, we have been talking to some of sex education forums, and they are quite responsive, and we let's see how the collaboration happens and how we take it ahead.
Have you spoken to anybody yet?
Yeah, sex ed forum is something that we are talking to.
Okay. And so that mate is going to go global. Not
really global, but first we should cater our Indian crowd, which needs it right now. Need of the hour, I must say.
Yeah. So you think a lot of people are responding to your page because they are like, okay, finally someone's doing something about it, so let's keep sharing.
Many are right now responding because they are my friends and they know they know they will have consequences if they don't reply, they don't comment, and they don't share it. So it has to reach people, and when it reaches people, I actually know what is happening and how people are responding to it and how it goes.
So if you think the sex education scenario of India needs to change, then support Madhavi's startup. That's the best way to go about it. If you're not going to do it by yourself as an individual, it's always better to join hands and make the world a better place.
We will always need contributors in form of articles, questions, comments, suggestions.
Akansha is asking, is an app planned?
Yeah, it is, Akansha. It's on the way. But it's too early to say. It is not even 1 month, baby. It's just newborn, 3 weeks.
So Ananya says that when it's dads in question, you cannot judge all the dads in the same way due to few offenders.
Yes, exactly.
My opinion, as life in short these days, and God forbid I'm not around, she needs to have a healthy relationship with her dad too, so that she doesn't feel alone. But again, this is debatable. Like, how do you know the father? Can a man just change like that? How does it work? I mean, can the dad just suddenly be like, oh, she's my daughter tomorrow, or an offender? Like, how does that work?
It's all in the mind. It's all what people think about themselves and how they take their hormones or testosterone level as, how control they have, and what a person.
The mind of a pedophile. How does it work? And are you gonna go through all these topics too on your website?
We will see how many topics we can cover and what could be the vastness, because it also depends on the contributors and also how it is taken up by the society. Because I'll talk of 100 topics right now, but if
society not digest it,
exactly, then what's the point? Right now, I have just started, so.
Ferhat says hello. Hello Ferhat.
Hello.
Ask us questions in the comment section. Give us your views. Continuing about that mate, till Ferhat asks us a question. Yeah.
So have you visited that mate?
Of course, I
asked you that question.
Yes, I did. In fact, when the link was shared, I did go around reading articles, but I did sort of sense that you're still getting people know, your acquaintances to write articles for you.
Yeah.
Definitely, I am also going to be a part of it.
Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And yeah, it would be really good to have your article as well. Akansha, I'm waiting for your video as well. So Akansha promised me a video on that mate. So
that's amazing. Okay. And others who think that mate is a great forum that's coming up, you must get in touch with Madhavi and give your articles, write for her and support this cause.
Because India needs sex education.
India does need sex education, and starts from our house. I mean, enough of trusting the schools and the organizations to take these things. Are you going to go to the corporates also and talk, because I'm sure even they need it?
That's a good idea. Yeah, even corporates, parents, schools, everywhere we should go and we should tell them, buzz them, guys, we are coming.
Parents, especially, it will be really great for the parents to attend such events and understand why their kids need.
I just think they should not throw me away, seeing my face. Oh, she's the lady who talks about sex. Let's throw her away.
Yeah, that's not that's not how we want you to take this.
No, I mean, it's just jokes apart. Yeah,
we just want you to. We want you to come up with events soon, because even Storified would want to cover such events.
Yeah, sure.
And communicate to the parents, to the corporates. And you think the older generation will digest these kind of things? The generation?
Not really, because
your parents.
No, because the day I started writing about periods, my mom is like, "Don't you have any good topic to write about?"
Yeah. And before coming for this Facebook Live, I didn't tell what Facebook Live I'm coming for. And Sadhika says this is a wonderful initiative. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
We're going to continue talking about that, mate.
After a break? I hope we had a break here, but yeah, we can surely have our coffees, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
No, they are not sponsored by any company, but I was working with a few companies. I'm not going to show the mugs here. Which company are they from?
Yeah, so as a petroleum engineer, you have switched companies. Have you worked only in India?
Yeah, I have worked only in India, but I have got assignments. I have worked abroad. I have gone for some short-term assignments and some trainings.
What has been the work culture like? Do you think it's different
No, not really. So it all depends. I mean, it depends on the company you work for. So I have worked for 2 multinationals, 3 multinationals. So yeah, the work culture has been really great.
Compared to
Yeah,
India?
yeah. So the thing is, the thing which I like about MNCs is they don't care what time you come in, what time you go. It all depends on the work you do.
The working hours are much,
Flexible.
humane.
Yeah.
And have you introduced your organization where you're working, start from there to ThatMate? Have you told them about ThatMate?
Not yet. But I'm sure most of my friends have colleagues are on Facebook and they know about it. So yeah, they kind of would be. And after this live, I guess there would be so many questions coming in.
Yeah. And so are you going to, don't you think that you must talk about ThatMate first to, your peers, your organization, and see what it is like? How is the response?
Well, with the low oil price scenario, I don't think it's a good topic to talk about. And they would be like, what the hell has she gone mad right now doing these stuff? So, yeah, but yeah, eventually I'll tell them.
But as a woman, would you want to tell other women out there, start talking to your sons and daughters about these things?
Of course, be an extrovert in these things. Please tell them. Because if you won't, then no one else will.
And I think as women, we should start and not expect that men should be.
Yeah, we should take the responsibility of talking to our sons and daughters and niece and nephews and everyone.
Ashish says, good going, keep it up. Thank you so much, Ashish.
Thank you, Ashish.
We'd like you to, give us your views on this and ask us anything if you want to.
And also, if you have any questions and comments or suggestions, please let us know.
Yes. So, yeah, tell us about. No, we don't have any questions coming up. We shouldn't only talk to our daughters. Yeah. Archana Sadika is saying that we shouldn't only talk to our daughters, we should also talk to our sons.
Yes.
About it.
Like sons, daughters.
How do we handle it differently? Do you have an idea about that? About how do we handle a daughter and a son? Because I think men are more active and want to know so much about these things, no?
No, when you say that men are more active to know about this, the curiosity is equal, I guess.
It is?
The curiosity is equal amongst men and women, like girls and boys. Because I remember my nephew and niece coming up, like asking me questions, and they were having same enthusiasm to ask me those kind of questions, like all.
Did you handle them differently? Anything?
No,
like
I took the help of science, so I did not handle them differently.
Okay. So Archana Sadikar is still saying that, as Manisha had mentioned before, schools should do it more proactively.
Yeah, so we always think that it should be school or it should be parents, and then I guess ThatMate is doing more proactively now.
That's true. But even if if you fight for this thing, like schools should have it, but I don't think keeping the girls and the guys in the same class and talking about this is going to be okay with the teachers. I mean, even you think
it becomes difficult in school because you have so many people, and then they start giggling, and then there are noises coming from
the minute condom is mentioned,
exactly.
or birth is mentioned.
So yeah, it becomes difficult in schools rather than.
How will you tackle such an issue when, as ThatMate, you're
so
going to go
yeah, what happens when a third party like ThatMate goes there? So we don't know the kids, right? And they won't be judging us. So when a teacher talks about it, students start judging the teachers also. So when a third party goes there, they won't have that judgmental mind. They would be like plain slate, and we would be telling them like it won't be that difficult for us.
True. So as ThatMate, you're going to tackle the school scenarios like that.
Yeah.
And how about pitching it to the parents? Do you think they're going to be open-minded and they're going to come and sit for a sex ed class?
We have to try like how we are going to tell to parents also, like what should be our approach, how should we tell the parents that how they should approach their kids, because because that's something that has to be worked out, because I have thought of kids, how we are going to work out with kids, but yeah, parents is something that just came up, so yeah, that's a good suggestion and we will take it up.
Okay, so would you like to tell our viewers something more about your page and about how they can find your page,
the site is thatmate.com, and it's the same name for the page as well, Facebook page, and plus it's also on Twitter. The Twitter name is thatmateteam, and we are also on Instagram, so do like us.
Go ahead and check out the website, go ahead and have a look at the brilliant articles. You must share all these articles with your friends and family, because it's so important that sex education needs to be taken up as a topic now. It is quite late, but better late than
yeah,
never. Please do that. Also, from the Storified team, this is all we have for you. It was amazing chatting with Madhavi today, and please like our Storified page, share this video and subscribe so that you will be updated with a lot of newsletters from us, because we use this platform to talk to people like Madhavi, women like her who are born to inspire. So that's all from us. Take care, bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you very much for being online. Thank you, Storified.me.